And there we go. And then go back to screen share, which will be
So we had it at the.
this guy.
Okay, and so if anybody doesn't want their mug on the recorded thing, just cancel your video feed in the Zoom meeting. Another housekeeping thing, we'll have some time at the end of the meeting for a couple of questions and answers. You can submit those on chat if you'd like. Next slide, and we'll move on. First of all, I just wanted to state the mission and vision of the Arts Guild. And we rewrote our mission statement this year. I especially like the new mission statement. So for over 60 years, the Northfield Arts Guild has thrived as a multidisciplinary arts center. Our mission is to inspire artists of all ages and skill levels with inclusive opportunities, to connect audiences to new art and ideas, and to grow our increasingly diverse audience to strengthen our community. Our vision is an evolving community where the arts fuel vibrant growth. So what a difference a year makes. The Northfield Arts Guild kicked off its 60th anniversary, and it was last year, August 20th, 2019. It was Myrna Johnson Day. We had a beautiful day on the lawn of the theater right outside these doors, and there were no masks and no social distancing required. Remember those days. Our theater season was dubbed the 60 Carat season, and the 40th anniversary CVRO season was on the books as well. We're looking forward to a busy year full of exhibits, plays, concerts, classes, and gift shop visitors. Then in March, everything's changed. Performances were canceled, meetings and classes went online. Our gallery bravely presented all their scheduled exhibits of the season. It's just that some of them could only be viewed online. People hunkered down, and we all had to make hard decisions. So it was a bust, right? Well, I don't think so. The Arts Guild is finding new ways to reach our audiences. Heather is hosting virtual artist receptions for each gallery exhibit. It's not the same experience that the traditional hors d'oeuvres and wine receptions used to have, but I find them very informative, and they're recorded for those who can't participate in real time, as this meeting is. Our instructors pivoted to online classes last year. We have continued arts outreach through our online instruction videos, and we created and distributed 850 free art kits for our at-home activities. We're also producing a first ever solos monologue writing and performance festival, which was the brainchild of Brendan Etter. 12 monologues, and they're online, of course. What says social distancing more than that? The gift shop and the main galleries are again open to the public, but they have limited hours and limited numbers of visitors. But we've added options for shopping at home or contactless pickup. It's all there on our website under the Guild at Home tab. We're limited, but creativity thrives on the limitations. Circumstance forced our hands as artists, so we're expressing ourselves in new ways and in different media that we never dreamed we'd have to be doing. What artistic endeavor are you working on next? How did 2020 shape it? For over 60 years, the Guild has been supporting and facilitating all kinds of art for all kinds of people. And we plan to continue doing that for another 60 years. We thank you for your support over the past year, and we can't wait to see what you come up with next.
Thanks to our 2019 and 20 board members. We've added 2 new board members who are with us tonight as well. So, but that's the other thing, was acknowledging some folks who have come and some who have left.
Yeah, so I can name some folks, and our new members was Marta Sorensen, who was is a student member still, Fernando Sevilla, who many of you know, and also brand new in the past couple of months are Jane Fenton and Rita Gomez. So I'd like to welcome them to the board.
We also recently had two board members rotate off, David Shelby to focus on schoolwork, and Christina Sauer, who relocated to the West Coast.
Mm-hmm. And also we had we lost two staff members, they being Megan Proft and Jared Ziegler. I know that many of you work very closely with them. We were very sorry to see them go. And with that, I'm going to hand it over to David Mckee, who can give a financial update.
Mm-hmm. You will let go.
Oh, you might need to unmute.
There.
There you go.
All right.
Yep.
I'm David Mckee, the treasurer of the Arts Guild. Financially, the Arts Guild fiscal year 1920 was a story of two halves. The first half, which ended February 29th, 2020, basically stuck to our original budget. The second half was a different story. We canceled the theater shows and concerts, transitioned to online classes, and closed the gallery and gift shops. This resulted in the loss of earned revenue of about $116,000. And our staff basically worked from home during that period. Early in the spring, working with our bank, we were successful in obtaining a small business government PPP loan. This plus normal contributed revenue, about equal to the previous year's amount, allowed the Arts Guild to retain our full staff for the remainder of our fiscal year through August 31st of 2020. Under normal circumstances, 50% of the Arts Guild revenue is earned through the various programs, and 50% is obtained from contributed sources such as government and foundation grants, individual and business donations, and membership. In the 2019-20 year, only 33% was earned. I wish to point out that we had a 27% increase in individual contributions this year. We also had two matching fund drives, excuse me, in which the Arts Guild friends and board members played an active part. The net effect for the year was a profit of $1,435. Now for the current year, with its many challenges, the board has had to make some very difficult decisions. However, it has approved a financial budget projecting a very small profit. Tim and others are now going to tell us how we are going to do it. Thank you.
That'll come up with the programming section. But first I wanted to, I'll give you a summary of this, but I wanted to also share how we started the year in person. This screen shows several shots from honoring the founders, from Myrna Johnson, top left, to the founders of YPTW, Bob Gregory Bjorklund, Patsy Dew, and Paul Nemesto for CVRO, being interviewed by Paula Granquist, and Ann Eder and Susan Carlson, who were integral in starting our Theater in the Park series. We also have a preview shot in the upper right corner of what will be a 60th anniversary publication being designed by Holmes Design that was made possible by a student archivist from St. Olaf, Vic Fessenmeyer, who's pictured there, basically rifling through all of our photos and files. But I wanted to just give you a few remarks. The Guild's 60th anniversary is a tremendous milestone that was made possible by generations of individuals who committed their time and creativity to create and sustain a center for the arts located at the heart of our community, ensuring a space where all are welcomed. We began our celebration a few weeks early with an ice cream social at the Guild Theater, where we began celebrating Myrna Johnson's leadership through the Guild's first and subsequent decades. We gathered together for plays, and we had that we had never staged before in the fall and early winter, and exhibitions both honoring founders and people new to the Guild, and celebrated other milestones from Cannon Valley Regional Orchestra's 40th anniversary under founding conductor Paul Nemesto to YPTW taking its anniversary season online for the first time ever. And we sadly saw celebratory events that were others that were scheduled canceled because we couldn't safely gather together. Confronted with temporary closures and stay-at-home orders, our staff performed brilliantly, and I'm really proud of them, rallying to create new online programming that you'll hear about next, and making our arts outreach fully bilingual, offered in English and Spanish now, with the website soon to follow. There'll be a toggle on the website if you want to read it in Spanish. And while we are in challenging times, we are encouraged by knowing we successfully overcame obstacles throughout our 60-year history. And I'm heartened that we still find ways to support each other and the Guild's mission in our community. Your memberships, donations, sponsorships, gift shop purchases, and participation sustain the Northfield Arts Guild and confirm that there's no quarantine for creativity or limits on what we can accomplish together. I'm grateful for all the members who have come tonight, sponsors, donors, because as David reported, you stepped up with 27% increase in giving to ensure that we got through our last fiscal year intact, and we know that we appreciate you being there again tonight and for the year ahead. Looking for my mouse. I'm going to pass this off to Heather Lorenz in the Guild's gallery for a recap of past exhibitions and what's coming up.
I had to do the unmute thing. Hi, everybody. So good to see everyone. Our 60th anniversary gallery season was titled Looking Back, Looking Forward, and the exhibitions we hosted honored our history, present, and future. In the fall, we kicked off our season with Foundations, which showcased the current artwork of 7 artists who helped establish, build, and sustain the Guild in multiple capacities for the last 35 to 60 years. To further spotlight these artists, we hosted several workshops and studio visits that featured these Foundations artists. In winter, we presented our annual members exhibition, which featured 76 member artists, and Hot Happy Mess, The Dysfunction of Progress, the Carlson and Sauer EA exhibition, which we were able to hold both of these regular in-person receptions and programming. This spring, I am very proud to say that we continue to showcase artists in our galleries with our scheduled exhibitions, including the ever popular All-School Art Show and the Honors High School Honors Art Show. I so appreciate how everyone rallied to make these really important community exhibitions happen for the youth artists and their families. Together with the Northfield area art teachers, we reimagined how to make these shows accessible to audiences through online tours, virtual receptions, and exhibition catalogs. This was my first foray into videography, script writing, and catalog design, but we're all learning new skills during this time, so that fit right in. The upside to these new methods of engagement was that they had a wide reach, with folks all over our community and the country able to experience the Guild exhibition even when they weren't physically in our gallery space. This summer, we presented the first of its kind multimedia exhibition called Belonging, which featured artists in all stages of their career who had never before exhibited at the Guild. This timely show embodied the Guild's mission to be a welcoming place for all artists and to uplift many voices. For this exhibition, the Brown family launched 4 memorial awards presented to the participating artists in Belonging in honor of Gail and A. Brown. We closed our 60th season with our Centered Mindfulness exhibition, which welcomed back our first in-person visitors. It was very exciting. Although we had to adapt the show by postponing a planned workshop that accompanied the exhibition, visitors repeatedly remarked on how much they enjoyed the subject matter of the show, how they felt when we came into the space. It provided a much needed respite at the time. Overall, we reached 23,000,
Well,
over
that's on your
23,000
studio.
viewers, which was a completely understandable 18% drop
My head.
as compared to our last fiscal year. But I'm happy to report we were able to still present the artwork over 1,100 artists of all ages, which is very close to the same number of artists we featured in our last fiscal year. And actually, the viewers were even more than the recorded viewers from two previous years. So we continue to go up, even with the online programming. For several months, our gift shop, as Rob talked about, was limited to remote shopping options. And although folks did utilize these methods, we saw a decrease in overall sales. We were very glad to resume our in-person hours at the Guild in August, in our gallery, and then in the gift shop in September. And I invite folks to come and visit us. We are open Wednesday through Friday, noon to 5. And in November, we will be adding a Saturday hours from 11 to 4. Our online visual arts programming reached over 2,600 people, and we will continue to offer these online experiences, remote shopping options, and launching this holiday season an online gift shop. Very excited about that. Our artist professional development reached new audiences in person and online. Stay tuned for a Zoom artist mixer coming up in January. Looking to this current fiscal year, I'm excited that we are continuing to present our planned exhibitions, both with in-person and online viewing. In September, we featured 2020 Optics New Approaches, which was 6 regional artists. And I'm currently sitting in our current annual members exhibition, which features 63 artists. This Wednesday through Friday is your last chance to come take in this show in person. And I invite you to join us on Thursday night for the virtual reception to honor the participating artists. Rest assured, you can find the virtual tours and the receptions for all of our shows on the Guild's YouTube page, though, to view anytime. Did you know the Guild is a venue for grant recipients to show their artwork? In January, we will host 2 exhibitions that feature 3 grant recipients, Julie Faulkner, Ann Reinerson, and Mary Wilkie. Also in January, look for a call for artists for how you can participate in our April exhibition featuring Cecilia Cornejo's Notions of Home project. And this spring, we will again host the All-School Art Show, the Carlton and St. Olaf EA Show, and the Honors Art Show. Stay tuned for details. We will also have additional calls for artists coming out this spring for our summer shows. I invite you to get your proposals ready. Bottom line is we have lots of ways for artists and art appreciators to get involved in our current season of visual arts programming. We will continue to keep our community connected through our online and in-person offerings. Thank you to all the artists and the audiences and the volunteers and the supporters who adapted along with us and continue to support us. Thanks so much.
I don't know.
And thank you, Heather. Performing Arts Up is next.
Yep. Remember to unmute myself there. So, as the screen says, this was the 60 Carat season, celebrating the 60th anniversary of the Guild. And the theater committee and program managers planned the season by selecting 5 plays, one from each of the decades of the Guild's history that we had actually never performed. It really started off in great shape last spring. Before the regular season started, we had the second installment of Catastrophe, which had been a big hit the previous year and had its second season of its own, I guess, at the Armory. It was a great fun evening. And we had a world premiere production of The Great Northfield Bank Robbery, A Love Story, which was a Guild Lab production directed by Rachel Heider. Story of a true story of a romance between Jim Younger, one of the Younger brothers, and Pioneer Press journalist Alex Miller. In the beginning of the regular season, before we knew anything was going to be happening, we started off with a curious incident of the dog in the nighttime, which explored the mind and experiences of a 15-year-old boy who investigates the death of his neighbor's dog. This play offered a great opportunity for the theater to collaborate with our Creating Community Club students who contributed drawings for the stage's projections and an exhibition in the lobby. Next up was Lend Me a Tenor, a farcical musical comedy, the picture right there of the somebody in clown face, weaving a tale of unexpected romance and mistaken identities. It was directed by Mark Robinson and had sold out performances. It was very popular. Purple Door Youth Theater had a lovely production of Matilda. That was the first of what would have been, I'm not 2 last year, correct, Tim? Anyway, but then we got into February and into March, and COVID shut down the rest of the season. Grey Gardens had just started rehearsals, and they were not able to complete that production process, and Billy Elliot had just only begun in planning. One of the other things that was going on at the same time was, of course, planning for the next season. So the 2021 season was canceled before it was ever announced. However, Lion in Winter, which was the last play of the previous season, will be, we hope, maybe the one play that we'll get to do this season. It was scheduled for the park, and if we are able to do an outdoor performance and rehearse safely to do that, we'll hope that happens. Purple Door Youth Theater is also hoping to do the production of The Hobbit later this spring as originally planned. That will be dependent on being able to audition and rehearse safely. They do have a couple of fallback plans for both, possible performance or perhaps just a theater experience for the actors who would like to have that opportunity. We do currently, coming up next weekend, November 7th, solos. I think it was mentioned in one of the earlier things. The Monologue Writing and Performance Festival will be on City Cable on Saturday, November 7th at 2 p.m. in the afternoon. 12 regional actors will each perform a monologue submitted from 10 area writers. Actors worked with directors Misha Edwards and Rachel Hyder to rehearse and perform their respective monologues, and were filmed by City Cable's Sam Temple. So this is our premier fall theater event. So I hope you all go find that on cable. In the meantime, there's been a lot of work done at the theater. The theater is empty, but we've had some significant updates to the building. The stage floor has been upgraded, and the city, if you haven't driven up 3rd Street, the city, as they repaved and recurved that section of 3rd Street, put in a small plaza with a couple of benches and a lovely street lamp out there for us, in response to which, before the snow hit, we got down there to do some landscaping and gardening out front, and working on a little bit of paint on the front porch railings and all, to sort of live up to the grand entrance from the city street. The theater committee will be soon starting to plan for a 21-22 season, which they hope will look almost normal. The theater committee membership is a little thin at the moment, so if the appeal of reading plays and helping to plan ahead for future performances appeals to you, you let us know if you're interested in that. I think that's the end of mine, so I'm going to hand back to Tim.
Thanks, Susan. I'll speak on our music season. Music programming got off to a tremendous start in September with the season launch of the 411 concert series, which pairs regionally and nationally touring musicians with local openers. A wonderful program. We were able to stage 2 productions, a concert with Pieta Brown, and then self-described indie Americana songstress, followed by guitar masters Jerry Kosak and Pat Donahue. We were all set for a sold-out performance of the Cactus Blossoms at Armory Square to take place on March 14th of all dates, when the stay-at-home orders were coming down. We had to cancel that. We had a sold-out house of 300 all set to hear their latest album. We'll look forward to rescheduling that at a time when we can bring them back, and also a time when we can be back at the wonderful Armory Square. Pivoting online, you'll see on the very bottom is Katie Vernon, who is game to put her 411 concert online as a Facebook Live event. That's her in her home studio with a backdrop. She provided an intimate evening of songs accompanied by her ukulele. She was absolutely fantastic, and we had our first ever online concert. I want to just say for 411 special thanks to Ray Coudray and Dan Rusted, who for the past 7-8 years have organized the series in its entirety in collaboration with the staff. So their work has been invaluable. Moving on to the Cannon Valley Regional Orchestra, it was a banner year, 40th anniversary season, led all 40 years by founding conductor Paul Nemesto, which is a remarkable achievement. We had a whole slate. We were able to kick off the season in a celebratory way with a concert tribute, which featured the Fidelitas tribute of Joseph Lee Haywood by local composer Daniel Coleman, narrated by Richard Coleman. A nod to CVRO's first concert in 1979, which was presented during Defeat of Jesse James days. CVRO next performed in chamber groups, which they had for the past few years during Winter Walk, this time at Armory Square, which drew a large audience and added a lot of holiday cheer. Their final 2 concerts, however, had to be postponed because of COVID. You can imagine with 55 members, there's no safe distancing space in town where they can rehearse. What we're excited for next year is the 40th anniversary celebration concert, which will feature a specially commissioned composition for the occasion by Northfield-based composer Reinaldo Moya. So that one, and that was supported by CMAC, so that will be really wonderful. I want to say in the works, this is a sneak preview for those of you who are looking for the winter months, December to April, of offering a Live from the Guild stage program where we offer once a month a 20-minute live musical performance from the stage, live streamed online. It's a way to provide a platform that disappeared for local musicians and just bring the Guild stage directly into your home. We're really excited, and Ray Coudray has stepped on board for that to help us make that possible. So I'm hoping that you'll get an announcement very soon for our first concert in December. So look for one a month. So anyway, we had our music program is really integral to who we are. So I love looking back on the days when we could gather together, and I look forward when we can all be in the room with live music again soon. Passing off to education.
Yeah, hi, I'm Connie Albers, a board member, and I'm real happy to report on everything that's happened with our education programming. The Guild's education program serves Northfield and the surrounding area with a broad roster of art classes, educational events, youth theater classes, and performances, as well as maintaining over 14 annual collaborations across our community. The Guild's classes are offered over 3 sessions. There's a fall session, one for winter and spring, and then again in summer. And these provide instruction in visual arts, theater, dance, ceramics, and early childhood development. To accomplish this, we partner with over 50 area teachers annually who led their classes in person from September 2019 through March 2020. And then they transitioned to teaching their classes online since spring of 2020. We also seek out opportunities where arts education can have a positive impact in our community. And these recurring programs include Creating Community Club. That is a program that offers arts-making activities that also expand social networking skills for youth and young adults on the autism spectrum. And then there's the Read Together, Create Together program. This is in collaboration with the Healthy Community Initiative, and that offers art-based literacy activities for in-home daycare programs, helping to increase kindergartners' readiness for young children. Now, Susan also mentioned that the Purple Door Youth Theater happened, the production of Matilda, and that was a rollicking success. Unfortunately, the next program, the Purple Door Project of The Prince and the Pauper, was cut short by the stay-at-home orders. But we showcase other educational programs annually during Northfield's Winter Walk, and then in the spring with the Imagination Celebration. This spring, the Imagination Celebration was reconceived as an Imagination Celebration. And we were able to offer access to live and recorded videos of arts activities, performances, and exhibition tours. So overall, our education program was able to adapt and continue to find new ways to offer hands-on and behind-the-scenes arts instruction. So we were continuing to provide people of all ages and abilities with critical access to arts education. Well done, everyone. And now we're going to hear from Jenny Eubank, who is our education assistant and outreach coordinator.
Hello, and thank you, Connie. I have not had the pleasure of meeting most of you yet. So I'll just say again, I'm Jenny. I just started at the Guild on January 15th. And luckily, all my years of teaching experience paid off, because within 2 weeks, I was already teaching art lessons at the library for their Arty Pants program, as well as hosting my first open art at the downtown building in the art studio. So a couple weeks after connecting with Northfield Schools and our other community partners, I was doing weekly lessons with Montessori preschoolers, after school 5th graders, and lots of other kids throughout the school system in their classrooms. So between my start date in January and March, we logged in about 40 hours of public art making. So getting towards that 60-hour goal we were kind of rushing it, but doing a lot of good work along the way. So since April, in March, we transitioned online and with our first virtual open art. And since April, I've made more than 10 bilingual art activity videos for our YouTube and Facebook pages, 3 virtual art lessons that were broadcast during the Imagination celebration that Connie mentioned, and 3 more live virtual open arts that happened via Zoom that were successful. Besides this, we continued our outreach partnership with the library by creating 400 art packs, kits that were distributed throughout the summer that included complete materials and bilingual directions for making the different projects for 4 separate art activities. Summer is also usually the time for our mobile inspiration station that visits parks throughout different Northfield communities in partnership with local community organization Growing Up Healthy. In place of these in-person art making ventures, I created 1 project per week for 9 weeks throughout the summer with 50 art packs per week going out to residents along with meal assistance and bookmobile programs. The kits included materials, bilingual instructions, and links to bilingual art making video activities online. I also did several online art lessons via Zoom with the Public School Summer Plus program. It's been quite a learning curve for me to get to know the ins and outs of the Guild and the Northfield community while simultaneously adapting to all these program restructuring. But I feel like it's really been fairly smooth, all things considered. And we've been able to continue to connect with the community in many ways. Now back to Tim.
Thank you. I just want to give, I know we're all on mute, but I want to give applause to the programming staff present and the folks who are no longer with us for the tremendous work they did last year. I also want to acknowledge one other new board member. We have a new youth board member who joined at our very last board meeting, Mary Rizzo, who's with us on the call tonight as well. So it's really wonderful. And just one second. And here we go. I needed this open. Now it's time for our Volunteer of the Year awards. We are grateful for the contributions of every single volunteer. And this year has been a hard year for people to volunteer with us because we can't be, but you know, a lot of our events that usually have a lot of volunteers couldn't take place. But I want to mention how grateful we are for every single one of you. And we appreciate the opportunity to honor 4 people who were nominated by the community and staff in recognition of their exceptional work on behalf of the Guild from the 2019 and 2020 year. Our first volunteer of the year is Burch Carlson. Burch could not be with us tonight, but she wanted to express her thanks for this recognition. And I just want to read a little bit of what her nominator Rachel Heider shared, which is Burch has been a tireless theater costume shop volunteer for several years. I think it's nearly 6. This requires assisting directors and designers, meeting with other regional theaters, tracking down pieces and returning them to storage. And basically she worked year round. Even when we were closed for COVID, she was able to get into the theater to get her work done. That was me adding this, but Rachel's words, Burch is kind-hearted and generous with her time. She is the true star. And she just stepped down from her role as costume manager. So I'm really happy that we have this opportunity to honor her for her work. And so every volunteer of the year, you didn't see it tonight, does receive a framed certificate and a number of gifts from the Guild in thanks. Our next up is volunteer of the year is Christina Sauer, nominated by Paul Nemesto and the CVR Council, and she is with us tonight. If you say a couple words, people will see you, Christina. You'd have to unmute though.
Thanks very much for this recognition. I was very surprised to get this, especially considering my recent move from the area. I'm zooming in from Oregon right now, where I'm happy to say there's no snow.
Thank you, Christina. I just want to read a little bit of Paul's, oh, sorry, I've got to advance the slideshow. Sorry, I'm not a media multitasker. I just wanted, these are our 4 volunteers a year. So we'll go here if you want to read what the full things that the folks said, but just a snippet of what Paul had written was that Christina showed herself to be an energetic supporter of community music. The orchestra saw her as a breath of fresh air to their cause. She has spearheaded many new efforts. We hope this tribute will let her know how much we'll miss her. Christina, you were a transformative force, both on our board of directors, but also on the CVR Council. Thank you. And I'm going to ceremonially pass this over to you.
It has arrived.
Thank you, Christina.
Well,
I'm
thank
really
you for letting me be part of the Guild. It's a fantastic organization, and the CVRO has a big part of my heart. They're a wonderful music group.
Thank you. Great to see you. Moving on, our 3rd volunteer of the year is Jan Shoger. Jan is with us tonight as well. If you want to, I think everybody knows who you are, but just if you want to raise your hand or say hello. Here we are. Jan has been involved with the Guild virtually since its very first years and has continued as a volunteer in the visual arts program to this day. Her nominator, Catherine Norrie, has a wonderful statement and that reads in part, she approaches every in-person or Zoom meeting, show installation, artist reception, and volunteer opportunity with unmatched energy and a willingness to help. It has been an inspiration for me to watch Jan throughout my career as an artist and teacher and to look up to her as a mentor. Jan, your contributions as a volunteer are innumerable to the Guild. I'm glad we had this opportunity to thank you. And again, I'll ceremonially pass this over to you. Yay. Thank you, Jan. And they don't have to speak. If you want to speak, you can of course share something, but if you don't, that's okay. Last up is our Arts Advocate of the Year, recognizing someone who has done exceptional work throughout our organization. This year's recipient is Cosmo Esplin, and Cosmo is also with us. If you want to say hello, Cosmo.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for this great honor. Even though it's not necessarily about the award, I just want to say thank you to everybody at the Guild.
Thank you, Cosmo. I'm going to share a little. This was a nomination from Gerald Lilly, Lori Lilly, and the Guild staff. I see Paul Nemesto has joined us too. Hello, Paul. Gerald Lilly's nomination encapsulates how all of us feel about Cosmo's work. Cosmo has done so many videos for the visual arts program. He's volunteered for the theater, the assistant producer. He's lined up for assistant directing. He's volunteered for the box office, ushering every behind the scenes role imaginable. He is always ready and willing to help wherever he's needed. And he's continuing. We'll be releasing a series of video interviews of the solos writers that Cosmo completed all on his own in record time, which was amazing. Cosmo, thanks so much for all that you do. You are you remind us why we exist.
Oh, thanks, Tim. I don't mind if, can I say just a few words real quick?
Please.
Okay, awesome. I just want to say thank you to everybody at the Guild. I think I speak on behalf of everyone who's involved with this organization when I say that the Guild is really a gem of this community, and I'm so glad that I moved here to Northfield to experience all that it has to offer, including the theater. I've taken a glimpse of the visual arts, the education, music. Everything about it is just so wonderful and really just fills me with joy every time I'm a part of something. It feeds my soul. So, and I want to say thanks to the Guild staff for this transition onto online. And so thank you so much for this, and bravo.
Thank you. You will see Cosmo in a very similar setting because we have our video up next, and he submitted something for us long ago, like I would say 3-4 months ago, and we just felt it was really integral to include. So we will see you again in just a little bit. I just want to explain that video is separate from this award, and we thank you, Cosmo. At this point, we have a short video, which is a work in progress. It does not include everything at this moment, but we wanted to share it with you as you're our members and supporters, and this is our annual meeting, and it's a great opportunity to kind of hear a little bit more about what we do. So you're going to see my screen for a second. You're going to see each other for a little bit as I go into the screen share of the video. And share. And close that. And where did it go?
Oh.
Here, sorry for this. You can see why I don't do this very often. Oh, I see what happened. It dropped down to the bottom of the screen. So I'm just going to expand to full screen, move you guys over here, and start. Hi, I'm Tim Peterson, and I'm the Executive Director of the Northfield Arts Guild. By every measure, this has been a remarkable year. I was thrilled that we could start in August with the launch of our 60th anniversary season, celebrating all the tremendous accomplishments and the people who made them possible from 1959 to 2019.
I'm Jenny, and I'm the Outreach Coordinator and Education Assistant for the Northfield Arts Guild. And this summer, well, since spring, we have been doing our open art activities online, either live via Zoom or in pre-recorded videos. And also been doing weekly or bi-weekly art making videos so that families at home can be doing art while they're stuck at home. And we have some partnerships here with the Northfield Public Library and also Growing Up Healthy, two local organizations, and we usually do live events with them, and instead we've been doing take-home art packs on a weekly and bi-weekly basis. And also with the Northfield Public School System, we've been doing live art lessons every week for some of the Summer School Plus students that are trying to start their online learning a little early.
Hello, I'm Heather Lorenz. I'm proud to serve as the Visual Arts Manager at the Northfield Arts Guild. Our Belonging exhibition was a particularly important and timely show, demonstrating the Guild's mission to be a welcoming place for all artists and encouraging many voices. I am grateful for the personal stories and experiences that the artists shared during the virtual reception.
Just a few weeks after the stay-at-home order, we hosted our annual Imagination Celebration online as E-Magination Celebration, with art-making videos and performances posted throughout the day. And though many of our spring classes needed to be canceled, our dance program finished the year online, and in lieu of an in-person dance concert, we presented a compilation video of our dancers performing at home. Creating Community Club also finished their year in a virtual setting. As we headed into summer, more classes moved online, including Youth Clay, Adult and Youth Visuals, Adult and Youth Dance, and our popular Young People's Theater Workshops, in which we were thrilled to have 43 enrollments. In addition to classes, we've been able to resume our Read Together, Create Together program, in which we partner with local daycares to present literacy and art lessons. Thank you to everyone who made the jump to online education programming with us, and to all those who have continued to support the Guild.
Hi everyone, I'm Cosmo Esplin, and I've been involved with the Northfield Arts Guild since 2016. Every aspect is so enjoyable, whether it's acting, assisting the crew, or being on the theater committee. I've also made a lot of friends through this amazing organization. It's been a really great creative outlet for me. I've learned a lot from some of the best, and this has meant so much to me as I reach for my goal to someday become a director. I feel that the Guild is a place that I can be myself and enjoy the company of other creative individuals. Thanks, Guild. Keep being awesome.
That's great. First ball,
There we are. That was shot in the summer to kind of give you, when we were trying to share more, but then we reopened. And I'm going to stop my screen share at this moment, and then we can go to all of us. So at this time, I'll pass it off to Rolf for some closing remarks. Oh, you're on mute.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Supposed to be followed, man.
Hello. So I'm not a man of a lot of words, so this will be short. I just want to say thank you to everybody for joining us. I didn't see questions and answer, or I didn't see questions come up, but what I did see is a lot of people saying congratulations in the chat box to our volunteers. So I just want to give a shout out to all our recognized volunteers and all the volunteers who keep us going every year. We're looking forward to another year, looking forward to seeing all of you, and thanks for all your support over the last year. Look forward to a lot of new collaborations going forward. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you all for your support and for being here tonight.
We will get past this.
Absolutely.
We will. And please visit us. Our downtown building is open, and Heather or I are behind the desk, and we'll be behind the desk, and we'd love to see you. So
I just want to say one thing. You know, I came a long time ago to the Guild in the 1800s or 1800s, 1980s or 1800s. I've been around for a long time. The 1980s, and I see some really familiar faces like Paul and Tim and Cheryl. And, you know, this organization has been in existence for a long time. And the short period of time that I had to be involved with it, we always believed in what we were doing. And watching all these new faces, don't know any of them, but it is such a joy to know that something that you believed in 30 and 40 years ago has the core values that makes it keep going. So thank you very much to your staff and all the volunteers on behalf of a very old time Guild member. Not 1800s, but old.
thank you, Kay. That's great. Well, thank you all. This will be recorded and posted on our website tomorrow, as will the presentation. So if you want to share with anybody or see, you know, or well, share with anybody, that would be great. So and you can access all this stuff again. So thank you. And again, it takes a community. So thank you. Okay.
So long, everyone.
Nice to see you all.
Bye-bye.
So nice to see you all.
Bye, everybody.
We are. Good night.
Good night.